Join me on a 30-day walking challenge. In this video, I'll share my daily insights, experiences, transformations, and the surprising results of what happened when I chose to walk for 30 days. Whether you're looking to improve your fitness, reduce stress, or just want some motivation to get moving and get out walking, this video is going to be packed full of tips, insights, and inspiration to help you to start taking those first few steps. Welcome back to Euphony Within. On this channel, we discuss the mindset that we need to achieve the ultimate level of happiness. How? Through happier, healthier living. If that sounds like something that is right up your alley, be sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and just join our community. We would love to have you. All right. Day one of walking. My feet are already starting to hurt. But again, it's not about being an Olympic person here. It's just about getting my body moving. I have my timer set for 5 minutes, and then I'm going to turn around and just start out with 10 minutes today, and we'll just keep building on to that. Yeah, so that's that piece of things. It definitely feels good to actually get out there and do things, and I'm not quite 100% sure what I'm going to be doing as far as focusing on steps or just continuing to do minutes, but we will figure it out. That's one of the biggest things, is just remembering to start to doing the thing, and you figure it out as you go along sometimes. It's just so nice to get outside and hear the birds chirping. All right, so my timer went off, and while I do feel like I could go for a little bit longer, we're sticking to the 5 minutes one way and 5 minute back today, and we'll just continue to build off of that. Like I said, I'm working on the long game here, not the short immediate gratification that I did something. And honestly, this is, making me feel good, making me feel like I moved my body, which... Okay, let's talk about why I chose a 30-day challenge and what my main objective was, how I plan to accomplish this, as well as what type of barriers would I possibly encounter along the way. So to start with, my main goal. First, I wanted to really look at, I needed to start moving my body. I've been in a lupus flare-up for 3 years now. I've tried to get back to physical activity and each time injured myself because I pushed myself way too hard, too fast, or my body just wasn't ready yet. And I know that walking is one of the most beneficial and easiest forms of physical movement that I could do for my body. And I had a conversation with my team of doctors, and they all agreed that, to start small and work my way up, because I'm looking at physical movement for life. I'm not looking at it just for the 30 days. So for me, my 30-day challenge, I feel like, looks different because I'm not focused on 30 minutes a day. I'm not focused on the amount of steps I'm doing. I was really focused on moving my body every day. And that is a little bit different. And I will say that was the part that surprised me with the results, which I'll share at the end of the video. But it really does have a great impact. And so if you have been thinking about it, but you feel like 30 minutes, even 15 minutes is too much to start out with, or maybe 30 days is overwhelming, I will be sharing a lot of the tips and tricks that I used, as well as how I broke up the 30 days, because I did run into days where I was physically sick and not able to get out of bed, but I still managed to complete a 30-day challenge. So we will discuss that. So again, I decided to, okay, how do I start doing this challenge? And so for me, I knew I could walk 5 minutes one way and 5 minutes back. That just didn't seem overwhelming. And I was like, okay, I feel like I can do this. I can walk for it's just 5 minutes. And it's just a 5 minutes back. That's not too long. It's about 10 minutes. We'll see. And if it was too much, then I would cut it back and do 3.5 minutes. minutes or whatever I needed to do. But I felt like, okay, I can do 5 minutes. And so that's where I started the challenge. I started at setting a timer for 5 minutes and walking one way, and then setting the timer for 5 minutes back. And so that was a small step that I took towards my goal. And I didn't have to go super crazy with it. And again, I didn't feel like I would be overdoing it because I was also leaving room in case my body wasn't ready for the 10 minutes. I would start at 7.5 or 5 minutes, whatever I needed. It gave myself a challenging goal, but also left it flexible so that I could take care of where my body was at. So that was my way of accomplishing 30 minutes or 30-day challenge. Was again, okay, I'm going to start out around 10 minutes. I'd like to get between 20 and 30 minutes, but we'll see. Even if I say at 10 minutes, the main goal is to move my body. It's not necessarily the time, it's not necessarily where, when. It's just that, okay, I am going to do this for 30 days and show up for myself. And so the barriers that I was thinking about that would come up would be weather. If it was like super rainy, what would I do? If my body was not cooperating, that was a mental challenge that I had to kind of overcome. And then 2, busy days. We have quite a big family, and during this time frame was 4th of July, so we had family in from out of state. So there were a lot of things going on. So I was like, okay, how do I do this? And so I had already had in my mind that even if it was doing a steps video, they have a walking step videos on YouTube that you can do, or walking in stores without stopping. So while my family was browsing, I just kept walking. Oh, excuse me. And then I would reach my goal of the day, whether it was 6 minutes or 10 minutes, whatever that was. I was able to still continue to walk and get my heart rate up and move my body again. My goal was moving my body. It wasn't necessarily like, okay, I'm here to lose weight. No, I know that weight loss and that kind of stuff will come later on. I'm building the foundations for what I need for healthy habits, again, for long term, so that it becomes a part of who I am and not just something that I'm able to do for short periods of time. So that's where I was at. I looked at my main goal, again, moving my body. How was I going to accomplish this? I was going to start out with hopefully 10 minutes and then work my way up to 20 to 30 minutes a day. And again, when it came to barriers, I'd already kind of identified the things that would come up. And so that's what I decided before I started my walking challenge. And it was really good that I had kind of mentally done this before. It helps that this is what I do for a living. I talk to people about this day in, day out. And so, again, it was just something that I practiced on myself. I did for myself and coaching myself. And okay, what do I need? And these were very realistic things, and I felt good about it. The other thing that I was doing on top of this was I decided to post a 30-day challenge on Shorts. So I did it on YouTube Shorts, I did it on TikTok, Instagram Reels, and Facebook Reels. And so that was another thing that really helped me with feeling successful, was just kind of seeing as I went through it. So, all right, let's talk the first few weeks. Some of the things that I experienced was I was incredibly sore. Even the first few days, I talked about it in the video. It was very sore. I really hit like tired exhaustion too as well. I will say that I have lupus, so my body is constantly at war fighting itself. So when I add extra things like physical movement or strenuous things, my body becomes tired more easily because it's already fighting itself, and I'm pushing it even further when it's already tired. So I knew that going into it, but I was actually really happy that I continued to push through in a way that worked for my body. Now, when it came to the soreness part of things, the first few days I was like, oh, I'm really not feeling the best. My legs, my feet hurt. I knew that kind of going in, and I had a pair of shoes that I was using that I had had for many years. Truthfully, they were worn out. And so while I was shopping, when my family was in from out of town, I came across these Brick Rebels. Um, Again, not sponsored, but these babies were on sale. And I had been looking at them since October, and it was the end of June and into the first part of July. So I went ahead and I got them. And I will say this was a game changer for walking for me because my feet stopped hurting and it helped with the leg pain that I was having too. So a good pair of shoes really does matter when you're doing your walking challenge. And I'm not saying you have to go out and spend hundreds of dollars. I think I spent around $60 on these. But even if it's just getting like a newer, cheaper pair of shoes or something, or getting some inserts for the shoes, that can also help as well. But if you're having a lot of feet pain and that kind of stuff, maybe check into the types of shoes you're wearing, and making sure that you have the support that you need when you are walking. I was reminded of that during this challenge, and again, these were game changers and they really helped. And I even looked forward to putting them on and going for the walk too. So that was one thing that helped with soreness. Um, the other thing that I ran into was really kind of finding the time of day to walk. Again, my schedule was very busy during this time frame. Um, and so for me, I found if I knew we were going into big stores like Costco or Sam's, Menards, because I'm in the Midwest, or Lowe's or Home Depot, wherever you are, um, I would use that opportunity to walk earlier in the day. And what I found was going through this that I actually enjoyed walking after dinner. That was my most successful time. And that's where, after about day 10 to 14, I just said that I was like, all right, every day after dinner, I'm just going. It was the coolest part of the day. The sun wasn't out as much because, again, I have to be careful of being out in the sun. But then, two, I also was trying to be creative with different places so I didn't get bored. So we went to, like I said, store shopping. I walked through the Mall of America and IKEA, which was crazy. I still am really proud of myself for making it through that day. We also walked through the Como Zoo in Minneapolis. And that was another great day of walking. But again, I counted that as my walk because I knew I wasn't going to have time to do both. And so I just set that timer and just did the continual walking. And that really helped with moving my body. So again, working with the days, but also learning what time of day I enjoyed the most. So I actually found that I very much so enjoyed this challenge because of the flexibility that I allowed for myself, as well as realizing that walking didn't just have to be going down the street and back. I was getting physical movement and walking in other areas in my day to day life, and it really helped me focus on that, as well as how to recognize that throughout the day. So, those were some things in the first few weeks. Here are some snippets from some of the daily walks. All right, timer went off. Headed back, and glad I did it. Like I said, I could be thinking of a million things I'd rather do, but showing up for myself and my health goals are also as important as cleaning and laundry and all the other things that have to be done. Update, my legs still burn from doing this, so it'll be really cool to see how long it takes for that to go away. Here we are, day 3 of day 30, got some company. Headed back, just finished our 10 minutes for the day.
I have a flower.
Woohoo!
What's that
Day 4 of 30 days walking challenge in the books. We've been doing 10 minutes for 3 days, but today we bumped it up to 12 minutes. Woohoo! Got my special guest here. And if you're wondering, there's another flower today. All right, day 5 of 30 days walking. Today I'm not feeling 100%, so we are walking through Costco. Still set my timer and still getting my walks in. All right, another 12-minute walk in the book. This is day 6 of 30. And we went with the new scenery. It's such a pretty neighborhood. Never walked over here before. Nice to try some new scenery. All right, another day, another walk. All right, day 7, 12 minutes of walking nonstop in a store. Mission accomplished. Day 9 of 30 days walking. We're having our 4th of July party today. And my niece joined me for my walk with, oh, whoa, where's your flower? With another flower, yay!
Looks like the star on the American flag.
There we go. All right, another day in. All right, I'm back. I was down for about a day and a half with a migraine, but we're out here walking again on a beautiful evening. I definitely find I like the evening walks a little bit more. It's cooler, the sun's not out. It's just a nicer time frame. I was down for about a day and a half with a migraine, and listening to affirmations about healthy habits really kind of helped keep my mind focused. So as soon as I felt up to it, I was able to get out here and do that again. All right, day 11, walking around the zoo. We're in the conservatory. Been walking pretty steadily for about an hour and a half-ish. And we've got another special guest appearance. Yep, it's been a good day of walking, lots of steps. Day 11 in the books. See you tomorrow. All right, day 12 out of 30. Going for a little walk in between baseball games. Nothing too crazy, but still getting some movement in. So, day 12 in the books. All right, day 13. I've been walking around. If you can see, almost 7,000 steps. We're in IKEA now. We walked through the Mall of America earlier. And that's me getting physical movement. Day 13. All right, day 14. Not feeling the best. I haven't felt good for a few days now. We switched some of my medications around, so my body is adjusting to the new one. But still came out for a walk. I let my partner know I wasn't feeling good, so if anything were to happen, he said just to call him and he'll come take care of me. But otherwise, it feels a little bit better going on the walk versus just kind of laying on the couch. So that's good. It definitely feels better mentally to go for a walk as well. And just to know that if anything were to happen, my partner can be here in like a minute and I'll be okay. So yeah, so day 14 of 30, got it in. Even saw some cute little deers. I'll try to add that in at the clip here. Had some friends on the walk today. Okay, so the other thing that I was doing during this time frame was also listening to affirmations. I was specifically listening to an affirmation that I have created called Healthy Habits, and it really helped with reprogramming your brain. And it's suggested to listen to for 21 days. And I will say around between day 14 and day 20, something really switched in my mindset. And instead of it being like, oh, I have to fit walking in, it really became more a part of my routine, and I looked forward to it. I thought walking was going to be the most challenging part of the 30 days, but actually life was more challenging. And going for the walks was kind of my time to reset and just have some time for myself. It felt good, it was encouraging, and I really enjoyed going on them. And so the walking part again between day 14 to 20 really switched and became something that was positive versus in the beginning when it felt very negative because I was like, oh, I have to do this. And so that was a really nice switch that happened. And I talked about that in this next section. But again, I was also listening to these affirmations even on days when I wasn't able to go walking because of how physically sick I was. I would have it playing in the background, and that really helped me with on the day when I had the migraine for a day and a half, it helped me with, okay, as soon as I felt better, I was ready to get out there and go walking again. I didn't even wait till after dinner. I was like, okay, I want to go walk. I'm going walking now. And that was something that the affirmations helped me with. It was also something that I really felt like setting the 30-day challenge really helped with, again, reprogramming my beliefs and my relationship with walking. And that was probably one of the most beneficial things that I got out of this was finding my love and enjoyment for walking again, because that used to be on my list of things that made me happy was walking, and I rediscovered that during these 30 days, and that is priceless. um, so again, changing my mindset, and it happened. Someone had asked me that on one of the posts that I posted. Oh no, when did I feel like a change? And it was definitely, after day 14, before day 20, it just something switched, and I didn't even have to like say anything. It just happened, and that's like the best way that habits can happen is they just start to become part of who you are, and we stop wrestling against it, and our brain switches, and it's like, okay, this is part of things, it's okay, and it stops fighting against us, which is a great feeling. So um here are some inserts from those days where it's really feeling a lot better. All right, day 15. Yesterday was raining, so I didn't go on a walk. However, I have been listening to the Healthy Habits affirmation, and that's really helping change my mindset. This is day 15, and just getting back up. Instead of beating myself up, I just get right back into the healthy habit again once I'm able to. And that's really been something I'm finding helpful right now, and staying motivated, and also just the mindset that's changing. All right, day 18 in the books. When I started this, I thought the walking part was going to be tough. But the walking part of the challenge has been pretty easy. Life has been a little more challenging lately. And gotta look both ways before I cross. And a lot of people have been feeling stressed or flustered or really stuck in life. And so if that is you, you're not alone. I am a certified wellness practitioner, for those of you who don't know. So helping people with lifestyle changes and motivation is what I do for a living. All right, day 19. It's been raining and lightning most of the afternoon, but the storm has passed. So I'm going for a quick walk while I can. All right, day 20. Who would have thought? Just like that. Only 10 more days left of the challenge. I think for me, it feels good. I was able to do it without injuring myself. That was a fear of mine because I've tried to incorporate physical movement in the past since having a lupus flare and been out for months to a year. And so that fear was really preventing me from moving forward. And the slower approach to getting back into walking has really helped me with overcoming that. So day 25 in the books. Went for another 20-minute walk. See you guys tomorrow. My bonus daughter's along. All right, here we are, day 29. It's been a pretty decent day. I attended a online summit for 3 hours, and I just can't stress the importance of doing things that fill your cup up and encourage and inspire you. And that's what that was today. I was feeling kind of discouraged, and just challenged me in a way that I needed, but also inspired for that sense of motivation. So yeah, but here we are, day 29. I never would have thought almost a month ago now that I would have made it this far, but I did, and I'm really happy I showed up for myself. We made it to day 30. walking around the bluffs. It's a pretty nice walk. I'll show you some of the scenery. But that's it. We're done. 30 days down. All right, so what were the outcomes? One of the things that I noticed was I started sleeping better. I have had lots of life changes. If you've not seen about how my life has changed at 44, I will link that video at the end of this video. But I really had a hard time with sleeping, and this challenge started to help me to actually get back to sleeping for longer periods of time. So my sleep improved. My mindset really shifted gears during this. I know I just talked about this in the last segment, but my mindset shifted to where I wasn't afraid of re-injuring myself. And that was a big thing to overcome. It's something that I've struggled with for the last 3 years. And the fact that I took this at a way slower pace than what some people may say, it is about our mindset. That's the biggest part about making changes in our lives, is our mindset. And the fact that I was able to move past that and not be afraid to go out and walk was really, really encouraging. And on the days where I was not feeling well, as you saw in the video, I really kind of talked to my partner and my family, and I was like, hey, I'm kind of struggling today. And they would either go with me or, would say, hey, we're here. We're literally 2 seconds. If you need something, just call. We'll be there in a second. And it was a thing that really helped boost my confidence and realize that I could do something, even if it was for a shorter amount of time. And those days were actually the days where I wanted to walk a little bit longer and was able to. So again, sleeping better, my mindset shifting, getting over the fear of injury. I didn't really lose weight, but I wasn't expecting to lose weight. I also did not gain any weight during this period, which to me is a huge win. And I was able to make it up to 20 minutes a day. It really helped me in the long run. So while I might not have been able to do like the full 30 minutes right then, I'm definitely getting to a place where I feel like I can incorporate the 30 minutes, which we'll get to in just a minute. And then the other big benefit was my lower back pain is like pretty much non-existent now. And I know that was a lot from like soreness and stiffness from not moving as much. And I've had 2 back surgeries, and every time they're like, walking is like one of the number one things that you do for recovery, but also for long-term benefits for your lower back. And I forgot that until this challenge. And that was something that I noticed just a few days ago. Even I was like, hey, my back isn't bothering me that much anymore. So sometimes, we go through these challenges, or we start something, a new habit in our lives, and we don't necessarily notice the differences unless we stop and really think about it. So those were the main things that I really benefited and learned, and were surprising to me as I went through it, because like I said, I really wasn't expecting the mindset shift as much as it did, and just that relief and happiness that I found from, again, showing up for myself. I don't remember where I heard this from, so if you do know or you've heard this before, put it in the comments for me. But it's almost like having a little marble, clear marble jars. And every time we show up for ourselves, we put a marble in. And most of the time we show up for other people, so their jar is super full and our jar has like no marbles and is kind of broken. But this challenge just really reminded me how when we put marbles in and we show up for ourselves, it really starts to build up our confidence, that our internal confidence and our self-happiness with ourselves, of, hey, I can do this for myself and show up for other people too. And that was a big reminder as I kind of went through this too, was, hey, it feels good to show up for myself, and to show up for myself in a physical way where I haven't really been able to up till now. And this slower approach really had huge impact, because I know this is moving forward, which really kind of brings me into what's next. So what is next for me after finishing a 30-day challenge? I plan to continue. I don't know that the full on 7 days a week of walking is for me yet. However, I do feel like 5 days is very accomplishable. So for me, going into the next 30 days, because this is going to be ending up being a 90-day challenge for me, but the next 30 days is going to be about walking 5 times a week for 30 minutes. Between 20 to 30 minutes as I'm kind of building up my stamina here. But then that gives my body a chance to recover, or also gives me a chance to, if I am down sick for the day, I can be down sick for the day and then bounce right back up and continue with what my habit is. So that's my next steps, is really just kind of checking back in 60 days at the 60-day mark, and just kind of sharing with you guys where I'm at. I know that steps can be a thing, but I really feel like, the recommendations for physical activity in a week is 150 minutes of physical activity. And if I break that down, it's about 30 minutes for 5 days a week. And that's doable. And so, and I wouldn't have been able to say that 30 days ago. I would have been like, oh my gosh, I wasn't ready for it. But going into this next 30 days, I do really feel like that walking has become a part of that. And I won't limit myself. Again, having those flexibility in my goals has served me well, and I will continue to do that moving forward. But I'm excited to see what the next 30 days brings, and just knowing that, hey, I can move my body and I can do this. So that's where I'm at with my next walking part of things for the next month, is really just getting to walk 5 days a week and seeing where we're at, and just continuing to see the positive benefits that we have. All right, I've done a lot of talking in this video. Now I would love to hear from you guys. Have you ever done a walking challenge before? And how did you stay active? Drop your experiences in the comments below. And if you're interested in more healthy tips, check out the other videos on the channel and subscribe so that you can know when the other ones are coming. We've done some great ones. We've talked about mid-year resets, which can be applied not only mid-year, but mid-month, mid-week, any of those things. We've also talked about being in our healthy era. We've talked about feeling stuck and unmotivated. There's a healthy habits affirmation video. Lots of great content that we're building for you guys. So be sure to spread the word, watch the videos. Really, we're here to help encourage and inspire, and really just kind of show through practical real life experiences that it doesn't have to be all or nothing, and it doesn't have to be mainstream way of doing things. It can be very much so individualized approach to happier, healthier living. So with that, thanks for watching the video. Again, hit subscribe, like the video if you liked it, share it. It really helps the channel. It helps the algorithm know what to do with the video. So it's greatly appreciated. And with that, remember, you're not alone. And while the sun may not be out today or tomorrow, it will come out again. I'll see you guys in the next video.